One of my favorite interviews to date and one of the greatest pleasures I've ever had was actually sitting with our Nelson Nash, the creator and founder of Becoming Your Own Banker, the person that has impacted so many people as it relates to how they think about life insurance. You're going to hear him talk about Parkinson's law. You're going to hear him talk about the importance of imagination. And I even asked him a question at the very end about his biggest advice. And he didn't get the answer that I thought he was going to give, but I think as I've re-listened to it multiple times, it's more profound every time I listen to it. And so you can see Nelson Nash's final words to me on the last interview I had with him. And so I hope you enjoy. Would love to hear your biggest takeaway from our Nelson Nash, whether it was something that you heard in this video or maybe you've read his book and whatnot. Huge fan of him, and ultimately our And Asset Vault and a lot of things that we do at BetterWealth have been inspired because of our Nelson Nash. Nelson, you on page 14, you talk about the importance of imagination.
Yes. Well, that's just it right there. See, the imagination of most people out there is about the equivalent of a toadstool, a toad rather, I'm sorry. Anyway, Einstein said that imagination is more important than knowledge or ability. Mm. Well, just think of Einstein, think of Edison, think of Walt Disney, so forth. What a different world it is with people with imagination.
Right. Parkinson's law. One of the things that kind of sets your book apart is you're not only teaching concepts and strategies and economics, but you go into the human element.
Well, that's the most important part of the book, because if you can't whip Parkinson's law, which has lots of ramifications.
Can you go into what Parkinson's law means?
Yeah, like one of them is that work expands to meet the time envelope allowed. Give a guy a job to do, give him 3 days to do it. How long is it going to take him to do it?
3 days.
Well, you give him 6 days to do the same job, what happens?
6 days.
Well, you give him 30 days, what happens?
30 days.
Does it have to be that way?
No.
But is it?
Yes.
All right. It's something that happens every time. That's a law. If I drop this cup here, it falls every time, right?
Correct.
That's a law. All right. So Parkinson's law is very, very real. Now, expenses rise to equal income is another one out there. And it's always on necessities and so forth.
Right.
That's a figment of the people's imagination. It's a crutch that they see something that somebody else has, and they just feel that they've got to have it.
Right.
And that's absurd. Learning how to live simply is the most important thing going.
Right. Right. And we also talked about needs versus wants.
Sure.
And you're like, wants become needs in America.
Yes. Out there, you go look at most anything that comes along, particularly charitable stuff. This is to meet critical needs. Mm-hmm. Well, why is it needy? Yeah, why are they needy? They've got a brain.
Right.
They can think. But it's all about how you think is the problem.
And that's kind of the key of this whole book.
Sure.
It's how we think. And that's why I had to read this a couple times. That's why I had to come down to Birmingham and meet with you and learn. I had to start changing the way that I think. If you had to give one piece of advice to the many listeners on here from your life experience, what would that be?
Well, I would say that the first thing you got to do is get the characters into place straight. That who leads your life, and it ought to be Jesus Christ. Get that straight, and that's you're on the road to where you want to be.
Yeah.
But most folks don't understand that because they've been taught to be statist.
Right.
Yeah. Well, once you get to that point, you have something as a foundation from which to work. But beyond that, you got to determine what do you really want? What do you want to accomplish? Unless you're hungry, it's worthless to try to give advice to somebody. So you got to find hungry people.
You don't have a need.
Yeah. You see, some time ago, I had this email. And this person said, I read your book. I find it intriguing. I don't think I'm going to go to college. I think that's a waste of time. And so I emailed him back. I said, son, we need to talk. And anyway, we emailed back and forth there several times. And then agreeing to talk, I said, give me your phone number and I will give you a call. And he said, well, you got to wait till after 4 o'clock because I don't get off and work until 4. And I said, how old are you? And he says, I'm a junior in high school. I'm going to be a senior next year. Well, I started feeding him books.
Mm-hmm.
And over a period of time. And I also got him involved. He lived in Barcelona, Ohio. Well, right across the state line there into Pennsylvania's Grove City, which is a fantastic school. And I know the professors there big time in economics. And anyway, we got that boy in school. But after I'd been getting books in his hands there for quite a while, he asked me one day, why are you doing this? I said, son, I learned a long time ago when you find somebody hungry, you're supposed to feed them.
Yep.
You're hungry. You can't feed somebody that's not hungry.
Well, thank you so much for coming down and making this a priority. Go by Becoming Your Own Banker. Please read it with an open mind, and I guarantee you that it will change your life if you are hungry.
Yes.
To learn.
You gotta wanna.
You gotta want it.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's waste effort.
God bless you.
Thank you.